On now, over 1,800 actors, entertainers and producers, including Hollywood stars like Olivia Colman and Mark Ruffalo, have signed a pledge vowing not to work with Israeli film companies they say are complicit in abuses against Palestinians. Signatories stress this isn't a boycott of individuals, but a stand against institutions tied to the alleged human rights violations. Well, as Israel's military assault on Gaza fuels a deepening humanitarian crisis, calls for boycotts and protests are growing. One of those signatories is Mike Lerner. He is a film director and producer, and he joins us now. Mike, thanks so much for being with us. It's great to have you. First of all, want to ask you, what is your reasoning in joining this pledge?
Well, one of the problems we have is that the people of Palestine are so powerless and so friendless in this world. You know, Israel has all the power, and so those of us that have some kind of power must use whatever we can to try and help the Palestine people. And so, you know, people in the film industry have this power. We have enormous influence and reach in the world, and you know, we really feel it's something we can do to try and address this terrible genocide that's occurring. And you know, it's interesting to see the response to what's happening and how, you know, popular this call is and how many people are signing on for it, because you know, I think most sensitive people understand that really this is the worst time of our lives, you know, the worst time in our human history. And you know, we have a responsibility to try and do what we can to mitigate it if we possibly can. We're under no illusions that this is going to bring around an end to the war, but I think it is important that we use, as I say, whatever power we have, and the film industry has a lot of power to try and bring the situation to some kind of conclusion, some kind of peace.
Well, Mike, what are your grievances? What exactly are you accusing these Israeli companies of?
Well, we're accusing them of being part of a genocidal campaign. I mean, these companies are complicit with the Israeli government in the genocide that's occurring. They participate in the culture of the country, and they have never stated any kind of support for Palestine or use their power to change the situation, to challenge the impunity of the Israeli government and Israeli society. So, you know, we're accusing them of a lot. You know, we're accusing them of being complicit, which they are. And those that are not are we're very welcome to work with them. You know, this is very explicitly written in this pledge that we're not targeting individual Israeli filmmakers, and we're not targeting individual Israeli producers and companies that are standing against this genocide. You know, who we are targeting are those companies and institutions that are directly in league with Israeli government, Israeli society in perpetuating this Holocaust. So that's what we're after.
Well, Mike, the Israeli Producers Association has reacted to the boycott that you're part of. It's told The Guardian that the petition is targeting the wrong people. What would you say to people like the people that are part of this association who perhaps don't hold any animosity against Palestinians, don't agree with Israel's assault in Gaza? What would you say to them? Because they are going to be penalized by this boycott.
Well, they're wrong. They've misinterpreted what we're doing. Exactly what I've said. We're not targeting individual filmmakers, and we're not targeting filmmakers who are not complicit. So they've misinterpreted what we're trying to do here. I don't know whether that's deliberate or not, but there's every reason for Israeli filmmakers and Israeli producers to stand with us and you know, somehow use their power to contradict this campaign of genocide that their country is committing.
Well, Mike, the boycott is inspired by a similar one that took place in the 1980s with apartheid in South Africa. That boycott did contribute to the end of the apartheid. Do you feel that this boycott will be effective?
Well, I really hope so. As you say, the boycott in South Africa, I mean, apartheid was really ended in South Africa because of boycotts. And you know, there are obviously other boycotts of Israel, the BDS movement and others that have been, you know, successful in marginalizing Israeli businesses and also it makes people realize that they can't act with impunity, that you can't carry out these things and carry on business as normal. There has to be some kind of price to pay, and you know, if we can extract that price, then all the better. But as you say, the boycott in the film producers boycott in the 80s in South Africa was very, very important, along with the other boycotts of South Africa that really turned the tide and really, you know, it wasn't the gun that won that overcame apartheid. It was really the dollar. It was really money that did that, and we certainly hope that can be the case with Israel. I mean, that would be, you know, I mean, we call. I mean, we don't only call for boycott of the film industry. You know, calling for personally, and others are calling for a boycott of Israel and its arms industry, its finance industry, its media, etc. You know, these are the only ways I think that you can, in any way, impose some kind of control over what is happening in Israel. And so we hope it's as successful as that which happened in South Africa. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see. Mike, thank you so much for joining us on the programme. Really great to talk to you and get your view on this boycott. That's